What for you do you feel like, if there's anything people can do, what are like the top three things people should do to optimize their skincare routine that they should not go without?
One, understanding your skin type. That is
Mm,
the foundation of your skincare routine.
yeah.
Um, Two, again, finding time in your day where you can be consistent. If you're not consistent with your skincare, it doesn't really matter. You're not gonna see the results that you want to see. And then product selection, again, making sure that we're picking those products that are appropriate for our skin type. Again, like very thick oils, like not to call out brands or whatever. Well, I won't even call it the brand. So I was using one of they have a retinol squalene serum that I used to
Mm,
really swear by. And I don't know if they changed their formulation or whatever the case may be, but now anytime I use it, I feel like I break out in hives, like all
Wow.
across my face. So
wow.
again, it and being aware of that too, like products
Hmm.
change. That's the thing.
Right.
Formulations change, companies sell their,
And they don't have to
sell
notify
off
you about that.
at all. So this
Yeah.
may have been a product that you swore by a couple months ago and now it's acting
Right.
funny, but you feel like you don't want to take it out of your routine because it was one of your golden products. Mm-mm.
But it's
Yeah,
to
I've
your
seen that.
point how
Right.
you mentioned having not having a whole lot of products to use or include in your routine because it'll be easier for you to identify that product that might not be working for you as well as it used to, and that's probably a good reason right there where they would
Exactly.
change formulation and you probably wouldn't been able to pinpoint it as easy had you not had all that little bit
Mm-hmm.
of products that you've been using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate too that, again, it's not so much you're providing very tactical things, but it's just like the understanding part of it is critical and essential to your skincare routine, right? Like you need to
Because skin
understand
is so
yourself.
different. Everyone's
Yes.
skin is so different. So it's so hard to give universal advice. So if
Mm-hmm.
people have, good insurance and have the ability to go see a dermatologist, I always recommend seeing a dermatologist at least twice a year. Like building it into it's just as important as going to your gyno or you're getting your physical every year. Like
Mm-hmm.
going to your dermatologist, I feel twice a year is super important because they may even pick up on things that you don't even recognize as an issue.
Right.
And to really get that individualized care based on where your skin currently is. I had a friend that moved from New York to LA, and I mean, her skin just went on a rampage.
Oh, it left the
And,
building, huh?
yeah, just by change of environment, her skin was just not
Yeah.
used to it. And she was having a really hard time. Like her skin was having a hard time adapting to her new environment. And that's a real
Right.
thing. People may
Yes.
think it's like the stress or, whatever the case may be, but no, it's literally the air that you're
Mhm.
Yeah.
in.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And again, that goes to, yeah, the external factors, right? Like things that you need to be mindful of your environment that you're in that's impacting your skin. Again, the largest organ. So, um, we have to be mindful of how we treat ourselves and be tender and show love to our
Yeah,
skin
absolutely.
because
I
we
love
definitely
going
take it for
to
granted.
Yeah, we certainly
Hmm.
do. I love going to see an esthetician about quarterly to get a facial and
Hmm.
get that extra care that I don't normally give myself on a daily basis. So that has been part of my routine is making sure
Hmm.
to see an esthetician to get a facial every quarter at the very
Love
least.
it. And
Yeah.
skincare really does play into this overall thing of self care because mind body connection is
Mhm.
also a very real
Yep.
thing. Your thoughts,
Hmm.
your stress, how you're eating, how your body's processing things, how things are going at work and in your family life. Like mind body
Mhm.
connection is
Hmm.
so real. So taking that time out to, again, it may only be a 40-minute facial, but the mental clarity that comes from that, just
Yes.
having that quiet time. I
Yep.
fall asleep on my esthetician's table all the time.
Me
I
too.
love
And look,
it.
she has
Every
a
I love
time.
it.
blanket, a warm blanket. It's nice and
Yes.
toasty. I'm like, I love
And the
being
soothing
here.
music,
Right. It's an experience.
the ambiance.
I love it.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
and I also think people take for granted the idea of, you said mind, body, and soul, but that part about the body, yeah, rest, getting
Mhm.
plenty
Mm.
of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
Sleep is critical for me. Like I don't do that nonsense of like, oh, I live off of like 5 hours, 6 hours sleep. No,
Mm-mm.
no. And I
Mm-mm.
take
Marriage
You
naps if
sleep
I
nap
is a
need
real thing
to.
as a
too.
hobby.
Right.
Yes, I'm like, I like to nap. That's a hobby. No, real talk. I mean, people need to prioritize their rest because it will be shown on your face. Your skin will
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
sag. You will have
Mm-hmm.
shadows. I mean, all
Yep.
of that. Like, so it's not just about, okay, you're putting a great expensive moisturizer on your face because it's irrelevant if everything else internally is not working well or it's not
Yeah.
resting.
Your
So,
body repairs the most while you're sleeping. That's why beauty
right.
sleep is
Mm-hmm.
actually not a concept, it's a real thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Right. It is beauty sleep.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's perfect. No, no, that's awesome. Is there anything else that you think our listeners should know and consider in their routine of taking care of themselves and being mindful? I love that you always say it should be intentional, and I think that's great.
Hmm. I think the main thing that I can really say with confidence is that you have to be patient. You know, skincare
Mm,
is also not something that you always see immediate results from. And I think that's where some
right.
people get it
Mm-hmm.
wrong. To really know if a product works for you, you really have to use it for 30 to 60 days for you to be like, okay,
Wow.
this
Mm-hmm.
is or is not for
Okay.
Okay.
me. Because
I
again,
was
when you're
thinking you were going to say like a
incorporating,
week or two.
I know,
oh,
right?
girl, no.
Oh, you're
No,
right.
no,
Okay.
no.
No.
30, 60 days.
30 to 60
Hmm.
days, because again, these are chemicals that we're putting on your face, and you are literally changing the not just like the chemical makeup of your face, but you're putting these chemicals on your face. You're literally affecting your skin's microbiome and your skin barrier. You're changing the chemical makeup of your face, and it takes time for your
Mm,
body to adjust to that. So you really have to give yourself 30 to 60 days and be okay with the process of figuring out what and what does not work for you, because some people, they can put anything on their face, body, hair, and everything is all hunky-dory. Me, not my story.
right.
Not my
Mm-hmm.
Right.
story.
Right.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, or what can you share, especially for men? Because I know, when we talk about skincare, it's always referred to women and how it's part of their routine and part of their self-care. But men, a lot of men are getting into having their own routine. And would it be similar to the way that we kind of approach it?
Absolutely. I love that there has been a very big uptake in male owned skincare brands and them having
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
something just for them. And that makes me extremely happy. But I think something else that men should do that they don't do is get facials. I just had my husband start getting facials,
Mm,
and like, they go and they take out the ingrown hairs and they do all
yeah.
like the light
Right.
treatments and everything. And they
Huh.
experience the same benefits that we do, because nobody wants a little scruffy, crusty beard,
No,
like make sure that it's
girl.
upkept.
Come on now. Come
No,
on.
I like a smooth skin.
Right.
Yes.
I want you to be
Yes.
smooth too.
Right. Right. We'll be smooth together.
Okay.
Exactly. And this is very
Oh
random,
wow.
but I think it's so funny how men wash their face. Like, I feel like when women wash their face, we're just like all up in it. But if I've ever,
Yes.
like, all the men that I see wash they're so meticulous. Like, they just do like these little small circles everywhere. And I'm like, it's okay to just get up in there,
Get in there. Get in them
Yeah.
grooves.
It's
Like,
like
they're
they're afraid
afraid
of
to touch their
themselves.
face.
Yeah.
Right.
They're
So,
like, I might
but
break.
yeah. Yeah, but I think it's great that men have routines that work for them. And I
Hmm.
think it's very important for them to also go through that same maintenance process of, again, going through a dermatologist, understanding their skin
Hmm.
type, and using products that work for them, and getting facials. I think that's something that men, that's another barrier that we're still trying to break through with the men. Like, they kind of
Hmm.
just got into their
Yeah.
skincare routines, but now it's
Right.
going the extra mile. And that was very similar. It's like men going to get a pedicure and a manicure. Yes,
Yeah.
please
Right.
do.
Yeah.
We don't
Hmm.
want no
Yeah.
Yeah,
crusty, dusty
exactly.
hands
Please keep
either.
yourself groomed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
We
Yeah.
don't want talons. We don't want eagle talons,
Right.
on our
Scratching me at night?
shins. Like,
No.
yes, please, no. Child,
But
no.
I have seen
Yeah.
some business owners getting into that as well, giving men facial, like that's part of their service, and taking care, now that a lot of men have been growing out their beard, using that as
The
part of,
grooming.
yes,
Hmm.
it's just
Hmm.
like giving them the facial and also grooming their beard, just kind of giving them the whole experience. And I've seen some videos like online, and it just seems like, oh, that's so awesome. I feel good
I
for
love that
you.
for them.
Yes,
Hmm.
I feel
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
good
love that
for
for them
you.
because it's like, yes, enjoy the serenity we feel when we go in for our
Yes.
facial. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
And the
No,
biggest
I love
concern I
that.
hear from men are ingrowns and hyperpigmentation. So,
Ah,
Yeah, I can
right.
imagine that.
it's good that they
Yeah.
have something to help them with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow,
Hmm.
interesting. Oh, that's so good. And actually, great question. I forgot. I didn't even think about that.
We care about the men too.
We
Right,
do, and we do. But I'm like, yes, no, I love that. Because we do have male listeners, and so
Mhm.
I'm like, shout out to all my male listeners. You know who you are. But
Yeah.
no, no, this is awesome. I learned some new things. I'm still not going to use sunscreen, but I've learned some new things. So thank you,
I'm gonna
Eric. I
send you
really
some
do.
options. I'm gonna send you some options to
Mm.
try, just for fun.
Oh,
You
you're
don't have to
cute.
use them,
like
Okay,
just for
yeah,
but
fun,
you
no,
know,
just
send
for
it,
just for
fun.
please.
fun.
That
Little PR
you like for
box.
shits and gigs. Okay, love it, love
See
it.
if I can convince you.
I am open.
Right.
I'm not a closed book, but I know where I stand. Um, no, no, no. We really appreciate this. Is a great conversation, and I think this is a nice starting point for people that are trying to really figure out their own skincare routine and understanding that this is very an individual path, right? Like this is a journey that is going to always be unique to you. And it's important to understand that part of that is doing this with intention and really understanding yourself. And so to our audience and listeners, we always like to close out the same way. There's a lot of noise out there, but our message is consistent. Stop getting distracted by the smoke and mirrors, tune out the noise, and focus on your divine purpose in life. Vibrate higher to elevate your frequency. And always, thank you for listening.